Hello, hello, hello. Have you ever found yourself trapped by your mind? Looping thoughts, monkey mind, perhaps you call it. Doubt, uncertainty, self-judgment, and just this negative cycle that you can't stop. If you do, you are not alone. And today we are going to explore how not just to silence your mind, but find peace with your mind and your emotionals. Welcome to Mattain, Attain the life that you desire. I am your host, Manal, and I'm so excited about episode 25, how to let go of limiting thoughts, how to let go of limiting looping mind. Before we get started, I just want to invite you. One of the things of this looping mind, one of the expressions that people use is anxiety. And I have a free, yes, I said it, free video for you. Mastering ease, letting go of anxiety. And I invite you to go to my website, www.mattain.me/anxiety, and just download that free video where you can learn and be empowered to let go of anxiety in your four bodies. And I am working on my book. My book is going to be coming out in September, and you will find out details how you can be the first to get a preview chapter of my book. So just make sure that you become part of my tribe. Go to my website. What is stopping you? Go www.mattain.me/anxiety. So last week we talked about the emotions, how the emotions is ultimately the command center for your four bodies. And we always talk about the Mattain teaching. It's all about the four bodies: the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the egoic body. Today we're going to focus on the mind. The mind. Our minds are so powerful. So powerful. Our minds is where we process, we analyze, we think, we goal set. And without our minds, we would not be walking, we would not be talking, we would not be breathing, we would not be doing anything without our mind. So there is an absolute importance, critical importance to our mind. But I can tell you, with my hundreds of people that I've coached and I've heard from, and maybe it's even thousands, a lot of people that I've heard from, one of the number ones is anxiety. That's why I'm writing the book and I talk about anxiety. But number two is about the mind, and I can't control my mind and my looping mind. And I can tell you, number one, we do not want to control the mind. Your mind is so powerful. And I don't even know who's controlling the mind when we talk about controlling the mind. Is it the mind controlling the mind? But then you're in control, still controlling your mind. So it's controlled, not uncontrolled. But anyway, I'm going through into a cycle. But it's all about allowing the mind, feeling at peace with your mind, with your thoughts, feeling good, present. So how do you get there? How do you get from this feeling of like, I can't control my mind and anxious and overwhelmed to a place of peace and allowing and acceptance and presence? It is by knowing that your mind is not just thinking. It's also the main communicator for your emotional body, your physical body, and your egoic body. So your mind is translating. If something hits you, it's your mind that's going to tell you that you're in pain. If you are feeling fear, these are going to come from your thoughts. If you're believing that you're not good enough, it's going to be expressed in thoughts. So by knowing the connection between your egoic body, your beliefs and your identity, your mind just processing for itself, your emotional body, it's speaking for you when you're sad, when you're angry, when you're frustrated, it's coming through the mind. And your physical body, while you're running or you're doing anything physical, it's all being processed by the mind. But if you're not seeing as four different expressions but one, not going to know how to take those expressions and run with it. It's almost like your car. Last week I used a car analogy, and here I will again. You've got the check oil, and you've got the tire pressure, and you've got the check engine light. So you got the gas, the oil, tire pressure, and check engine. And you keep saying, why is my check engine light? Why is my check engine? Why is my check engine? I keep checking the engine. But you also have your tire light, and you're not reading that it says about your tire and your gas and your oil. I don't know if that was a good analogy, but I think it was. I think it was solid. It was all about recognizing that this mind is telling you when it's the tire, it's telling you when it's gas, it's telling you when it's the oil, it's telling you when it's the engine. But if you just blame it on it being the engine, which is the mind, and you don't see it's talking to you about the oil and the tire and the gas, you're going to keep blaming the mind, the engine. So having an awareness of the four bodies and that your mind is expressing for them is the way to allow yourself to get to peace. Isn't it interesting? You are aware of more expressions, which gets you to peace, because right now it's like a toddler. If you're not listening to your body is like a toddler, which is anxiety, which is screaming at you and looping at you because you're not looking at and seeing it. So let's walk through and see what this means. Let's start with the egoic body. So our egoic body is where we carry our beliefs, we carry our identity. And if we are believing that we are not good enough, we're believing that we're controlled or we're under control, we got to control our mind, we're believing that that life is a struggle and suffering, that's going to cause a lot of resistance in your mind. So when you start to recognize anything that your body says that's inconsistent or incongruent with your inherent worthiness, your mind is going to be active. You find that you're going to feel that you're in self-control and anything other than your inherent freedom, your mind is going to become active. If you're going to believe that life is difficult and not easy and hard and anything other than the beauty and love and ease, your mind is going to become active. So the way to get it inactive is by seeing, oh, I am resistant to the freedom that I inherently have, to the love that inherently is, to the worth that I inherently am. And you recognize when there's resistance, when the check engine light of the egoic body is going, we don't blame it on the mind, we see it as egoic resistance. And we look at it and we see it and we say, oh, that made me feel bad. It made me feel unworthy. Wow, I just got to keep working on my worthiness muscle. Ooh, that made me feel controlled. That made me feel like I wasn't free. Oh, I got to work on my freedom muscle. Ooh, that made me feel sad. That made me feel mad. That made me feel angry. I got to work on my love, happiness, peace, joy muscle. And you recognize the mind is processing a recognition of needing to work on all or any of the elements of the unconditional three. Now I'm going to jump to the emotional body. So something happened and it made you angry, sad, frustrated, mad. I'll use an example that I get regularly. I'm really sad because somebody passed away. I'm really sad and I'm really anxious because I had something really intense happen in my life. And I'll ask, did you honor that feeling? And invariably, usually, I don't think that word was right that I used, but I'll hear like, no, there's a resistance. There's a belief that they were not good enough. There's an unwillingness to actually sit and see the sadness because you lost something. So there's a resistance to the sadness. And invariably, when I ask to just see, did you honor that? Yeah, that's a sad situation. Loss is difficult, even though I say life isn't difficult, but yeah, loss is difficult. Did you honor your sadness? I'd say 10 times out of 10, the answer is no, maybe 9 out of 10. So it is 10 out of 10. The answer is no. And I say, well, can you see the sadness? And then I feel this immense sadness and tears start coming. I get so much. I'm crying now. Yes, cry. Let it out. Express the emotion that you are feeling. Allow the emotion. And if you're not allowing your emotion, that's going to show up in your mind. It's going to show up in resistance in your mind, looping in your mind. I'm going to use the word, it's a really bad word, but self-hate in your mind. I don't like that I use that word, but that's what shows up when you're not listening to the expressions of your body. But if you stop and say, wow, I'm sad. There's a deep loss that I feel, and that's sad. That's liberating to your emotional body, your physical body, your egoic body, and your physical and your mental body because you were resisting. Other than that, you were resisting that you were feeling that way. So when you stop and see your emotions, you allow your mental body to relax. It doesn't have to resist seeing. It can allow the emotional expressions. It's so powerful. And then finally, your physical body. There's so much judgment that we have on our physical body, on our expressions. We have a lot of limiting thoughts and beliefs about our body, and we're not strong, or we're not healthy, or we're not slim, or we're too this, or we're that, or our hair, or our grays, our age. So many limiting thoughts about our physical body. That creates a lot of resistance, and there are a lot of resistance towards an amazing vessel that's carrying us in this physical life. There might be a lot of physical pain because I'm repressing my emotional pain and even the beliefs, and there's a lot of physical pain. So just seeing that physical pain, not as a limiting part of your life, but for an expression of pain. So there's a difference of saying, my knees are so bad, they always hurt, versus recognizing the resistance that you feel in your knees. It's like, ooh, interesting, feels like tingling. Ooh, it feels like I'm not supported. Oh, wow, that's related to egoic beliefs. And it starts to see it, not judge it, not have stories about it, not have limiting thoughts about it, limiting expressions about it, but just seeing it. So our minds are so powerful, but just by merely starting to see, just become aware. Step one, just awareness of your emotional body. Ooh, those emotions, interesting. Your physical body. Ooh, I've been judging my arm, my shoulders. I've been judging my knees. I've been judging my arthritis, perhaps. I'm just going to see it for an expression, physical expression that it is. Oh, it's so empowering, so empowering. And this is what I teach. And everything I talk about, I teach. I have some Attain principles and teachings, fundamental about the bodies and the unconditional 3 and some of the things I talked to you about, my 5 steps. It's all about finding empowering ways to see yourself, your 4 bodies, so you can ultimately live a life of peace and ease and joy and surrender and happiness, worthiness, freedom. Doesn't that sound amazing? Doesn't it sound amazing? So I hope you love this. And if you like this, you will love my video. Go to my website, www.mattain.me/anxiety. Mastering ease, letting go of anxiety. It is for you. It talks and reinforces a lot of these things. It's all about building the muscle. And when you sign up, you'll also be part of my newsletter, and you will hear my book that's coming out September. You can be one of the first to see a preview chapter, to be part of my journey, because it is so exciting and so powerful. I am so happy that you're here and excited. I welcome you to be part of the Mattain tribe. And if you're already part of the Mattain tribe, thank you. Regardless of where you are in your stage, you are amazing. You are powerful. I see you and love you, my love, always.